This year, many individuals have already acquired the Rolex watches they intended to add to their collections. However, others are still waiting for their names to be selected by local authorized dealers, and countless more are still deciding which models to purchase. If you are in the market for a Rolex watch this 2023, you may be unsure of which type of watch you should invest in when it comes to selecting a timepiece. Our consistent advice is that consumers should go with their gut and choose something they will actually wear. Nonetheless, it's important to keep in mind that timepieces are sometimes used as investments, and their possible future value is something to think about before making a purchase. If you're a first-time buyer of a Rolex watch, you're in luck because today we're going to talk about what you need to know before buying your first ever timepiece this 2023. In this guide, we are going to talk about everything that you need to know before buying a timepiece from the famous brand. Buying a Rolex should be a pleasurable experience, but nothing will spoil that more than feeling lost and confused. So here is all you need to know about how to buy a Rolex. Welcome to Lux Life. And when it comes to luxury and lifestyle, we've got you covered. But before we begin, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. Now, let's start. Number 1. Make sure that you can afford it first before buying a high-end watch like a Rolex. This is the most important question to ask. We suggest that you figure out how much you can spend and which model you want. While most people aim for the Rolex that appears to be the most precious, we know that the more stylish ones care more about genuine, indisputable pedigree. With so many genuine models that have dropped in price over the years, nowadays, it seems like anyone who has achieved even modest success can afford to buy themselves a Rolex. Despite the shift in popular opinion, it is abundantly evident that a person's in-depth familiarity with the Rolex product line, the company's history, and the premium watchmaker's legacy will always ring true. Number 2, you need to know what motivates you to buy a Rolex timepiece. Make sure you're buying the Rolex for the correct reasons. If you're just getting it to show off, you might want to rethink your priorities. You can buy an expensive watch just to show off how much money you have. But before you do, it's important to have a clear idea of what you want out of the timepiece and why. When buying one, you should consider your own personal taste and the factors that influence it when choosing a Rolex. Number 3, know which style suits you best. Before making a final decision on a watch, it's helpful to know whether you'll be wearing it for special occasions, daily for informal and formal uses, or only at the country club. Some of Rolex's many sporty, luxurious, and adaptable models will feature more pronounced styling. Think about what kind of watch you can envision yourself wearing the most often. Considering that this is your first Rolex, you want it to be adaptable to a wide range of settings and situations. Number 4. You can always choose to get a vintage pre-owned or brand new Rolex timepiece. If you're going for a brand new watch, you won't have to worry because purchasing a new Rolex watch is pretty much straight to the point. All the paperwork and packaging must be paid for in full before the actual watch you bought can be released. Perhaps you have a thing for vintage goods, or you favor the aesthetic of a leather strap and buckle. If you are the type to enjoy these kinds of watches, then vintage Rolexes might be for you. Typically, watches made 20 to 30 years ago are considered vintage for a Rolex. An antique Rolex is defined differently because this watch needs to be at least 100 years old in order to qualify. There is also the option of purchasing a pre-owned Rolex watch. These watches are more reasonably priced compared to vintage timepieces since the prices can sometimes be driven up by the rarity or desirability of certain pieces. Number 5. Make sure to look into the details of the watch. The first factor that you need to consider is the size. If you assume watches only come in one size, you'll be amazed at how many different variations there actually are. Model selection should be made in relation to the wearer's wrist circumference. a smaller watch will suffice. For instance, if your wrist is on the skinny side. Similarly, if you have a large wrist, a larger version will be needed. Choosing the right band and material is also very important. With this, go for the band that will match the look or purpose of the watch. A lot of people go for the stainless steel ones, since it is the most in-demand material used for this. And last but not least are the dial and bezel. Because this is your first Rolex, we recommend going with a classic style and avoiding any bright accents or colors that can draw unwanted attention. However, it is your watch, so it is still your choice in the end. Number 6. Make sure to pick the model that is best for you. Now comes the best part, the watch itself. When thinking about buying a watch, you should already know that Rolex has plenty of brothers and sisters in the family tree. In other words, different models. If you're getting your first Rolex, you can't go wrong with a classic sports watch, in this case, a Submariner, Datejust, Daytona, GMT Master, or even a Sea Dweller. Which is better, buying from an authorized dealer or the gray market? With official retailers, you can only buy from them by going there personally, since it is against Rolex policy to sell watches online. Another issue with authorized dealers is that they may not stock the model you're looking for. You won't be able to find much of a choice unless you go to a really large Rolex store. On the other hand, gray market web retailers sell discounted original Rolex watches with the possibility of skipping waiting lists for the proper price. You should only buy from reputable stores though, just to be safe. After all, there are a lot of counterfeits being sold out there, so be careful. There are many factors to consider when purchasing a Rolex for the first time, but once you've determined these factors and located a trusted retailer, you will be well on your road to acquiring a Rolex watch. When purchasing your first Rolex watch, you should always purchase from a reputable retailer. And after purchasing your first timepiece, be sure to maintain it. If you wear a Rolex, you must get it serviced every 5 years to preserve its smooth operation. The occasional wear and tear are okay, but you must protect the watch against impacts and scratches as well. Although the watch is manufactured with durability in mind, it is not indestructible. We hope that you'll have a wonderful experience in buying your first Rolex timepiece. Happy shopping! If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the thumbs up button, click subscribe, and hit the notification bell to receive updates in our latest videos. Also, feel free to leave us a comment if you want to watch more videos. Head on over to our channel to see more from Lux Live. See you!